I can't. My name is Marshall. I'm repping that motherfucking Motor City, bitch. I just turned Slaughterhouse to a quintet, began a trend set, murdered a friend's pet, made shit as ill as it can get, went in depth like a fucking vignette, and 2 bars, skin's wet, I'm already covered in sweat, and I wasn't even ready to come in yet.
Yeah, what up, boxing fans? This is a response video to the Eternal Boxing Gods. One of my subscribers told me that he did a video. Shout out to Terrence Tablet. So I'm just responding. And before I get into my response, I'm going to let you guys hear what he had to say.
Alright, this is going to be a response video to Shady Slim. And he did a couple videos on Danny Jacobs. And I do think Danny Jacobs is a good opponent for Triple G right now. And I just wanted to say, you know, he said that Thunderdome Boxing pointed out a couple articles. And I just want to read those articles and really read what Danny Jacobs is actually saying here. And show you that, no, he's not ducking Gennady Golovkin. He never...
Well, me and you agree that Danny Jacobs would be a good fight for Triple G. I agree with you on that. But when you say Danny Jacobs is not ducking Triple G, well, he did the interview with BoxingScene.com. So maybe BoxingScene.com misquoted Danny Jacobs. But the title of that article says Danny Jacobs is not ready for Triple G. So maybe he need to talk with the editor that he did that interview with Boxing Scene. Or maybe they misquoted Danny Jacobs. But the title reads, in 2014, the head of the title, it says Danny Jacobs not ready for Triple G. So when I see a title says not ready for a fighter, I take that as ducking. I assume that the fighter is ducking another fighter. So that's my point on that where it pertains to ducking. Now let's move on to what he had to say about the purse and pricing himself out. Let me fast forward.
By the way, from any boxer, right? He just wants to be compensated fairly. Now we don't know what fair means to Danny Jacobs. We don't know. Maybe it's $1 million. Maybe it's $500,000. But no, it doesn't work as HBO just says, here, you're going to take $5 and you're going to fight Gennady Golovkin because he's the A side. That's not how boxing works. Right? You know, Danny Jacobs is his own man, and he can say, if he doesn't feel an offer is right, he can turn that offer down. But understand, you don't price yourself out unless you put a price out there. And he hasn't put a price out there, right? That's what's called pricing yourself out. When you put a price out there, like, I want $10 million to fight Gennady Golovkin, and he's not worth $10 million, he hasn't even put a price out there. Now, for example, Peter Quillen did price himself out of a Gennady Golovkin fight. He said that I want to fight, if I fight Gennady Golovkin, I want Mayweather and Pacquiao money. Well, everybody knows he's not going to get the money that Mayweather and Pacquiao got to fight Gennady Golovkin. So that's...
Okay, well, I respectfully disagree that I think that Danny Jacobs starting off at the wrong foot. When you going into negotiations as a B-side, which Danny Jacobs would be against Triple G, I'm going to let you hear. I want all you guys to hear, casual fans and fans that know about boxing. This is how you go into negotiations. This is how you negotiate when you're the B side. This is what should be your response when you're the B side. And I want everyone to listen to this. Listen to this video carefully.
The business is us sitting down and negotiating a fight. And for me, it's very easy. You know, we got no problem with coming to Brooklyn, Barclays Center. We don't need to know the purse, so that makes it easy for you guys. There's no arguments, no discussions. We can just go ahead and get it done.
Yeah, but you're saying you don't need to know the purse because you have a mandatory minimum, right? Not because you're going to take less than your mandatory minimum.
I don't need to know the purse because I'll take what it takes to make the fight is what I'm saying. If I got to take short money to make the fight, I will take short money to make the fight. He's confident that...
Let's rewind that so you guys can hear it again.
coming to Brooklyn, Barclays Center. We don't need to know the purse, so that makes it easy for you guys. There's no arguments, no discussions. We can just go ahead and get it done.
Yeah, but you're saying you don't need to know the purse because you have a mandatory minimum, right? Not because you're going to take less than your mandatory minimum.
I don't need to know the purse because I'll take what it takes to make the fight, is what I'm saying. If I got to take short money to make the fight, I will take short money to make the fight.
You're going to take less than your mandatory minimum.
I don't need to know the purse because I'll take what it takes to make the fight, is what I'm saying. If I got to take short money to make the fight, I will take short money to make the fight.
You're going to take less than your mandatory minimum.
I don't need to know the purse because I'll take what it takes to make the fight, is what I'm saying. If I got to take short money to make the fight, I will take short money to make the fight.
Not because you're going to take less than your mandatory minimum.
I don't need to know the purse because I'll take what it takes to make the fight, is what I'm saying. If I got to take short money to make the fight, I will take short money to make the fight.
Now, I'm sure everyone heard that as I replayed it about 3 or 4 times. When you're going into a fight as a B-side, you don't start off negotiations by saying what money you want. You want fair money. You want this money. You want that money. You want that money. For example, if Floyd Mayweather, now we're not going to use Floyd Mayweather. For example, if Canelo Alvarez offered me a fight, the first thing I'm going to do is say, where's the contract? Where do I sign? When you're the B side, your job is to go in there, fight your ass off, beat the A side, so you can become the A side, so you can call the shots. As the B side, you don't call any shots. Definitely you don't call any shots about money. So when Daniel Jacobs makes statements that he wants fair money, Al Heyman is going to make sure he gets the biggest reward for the biggest risk. That alludes to us fans that he's ducking. He needs to be saying, man, I want this shot at Triple G. Send me the contract. I'm ready to sign the contract. As you heard in the video I just played, that is how you go about negotiations when you're the B side. You say, I'm willing to take short money to make the fight so that I can become the A side, which is Triple G. He's the A side. So that's why I respectfully disagree with you. Daniel Jacobs starting off at the wrong foot by making money demands, by even bringing up money. He needs to be saying, I believe I can win this fight. I want the fight. Send me the contract. I'm ready to sign the contract. Instead, he's talking about money. You should not even be mentioning money at the start of the negotiations. You need to be talking about how can you win the fight. You want the fight. You want to win the fight. I'm not hearing none of that. All I'm hearing is money issues, network issues. And to the fans, we don't want to hear none of that shit. We just want to see 2 guys in the ring fighting. We don't want to hear about network. We don't want to hear about money. Sign the fucking contract and fight. And that's my problem with Danny Jacobs. That's my only problem with Danny Jacobs. I want to see him fight Triple G. I don't want to hear excuses about getting fair money. You get whatever the fuck HBO and Triple G offers you. You fight on HBO. You're the B side. You don't get a fucking say. You don't decide what gloves you're wearing. You don't decide what drawers you're putting on. You don't even decide what shoes you're wearing. You don't decide money. You don't decide robes. You don't decide who walks down the ring first. You don't decide any fucking thing. You're the B side. Triple G's the A side. Take this fight, whoop Triple G's ass, then you're the A side. Then you call the shots next fight in the rematch. That's how negotiations go when you're the A side and when you're the B side.